Hey, welcome back to another Moralis video. My name is Bharat, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can leverage Moralis API in order to build your own custom Web3 GPT. So let's get started. So this is what we're going to be building in today's tutorial. So like you can see here, this is like Web3 GPT. So essentially it's a custom GPT within OpenAI and ChatGPT, which can basically do a lot more things with Web3 data. So to just get a quick taste of what this can actually do, I'm just going to try some sample prompts which are out here. So let's ask it what's the balance of ETH for this given address. And now let's basically try passing my ENS domain. Great. So what you can see right now is it's made two API calls. The first API call it's made is to actually resolve the ENS domain to the actual address. Then the second API call is to actually fetch the balance on it. So you could ask it even more complex queries like how many NFTs does this address hold? And you'll notice that for each and every question, it's going to make an API call to Moralis in order to get the data. And you can say this ETH address has around 8 NFTs. How many transactions has this address done on Ethereum? Basically, we can get all this data as well. And you can see that I've done 86 transactions. And if you're also trying to, let's say, get the total net worth or the token balances, you could even get that. How much or what tokens does this address hold on Ethereum? So now it's going to again make an API call to Moralis in order to get this information. So you can basically see what are all the tokens which this address is basically holding on Ethereum, and basically shows you all of the data. So these are some prompts that we can quickly try, and now we're going to actually understand how you can build this. We're going to leverage ChatGPT's custom GPT feature in order to build this, and one prerequisite for that is to actually have ChatGPT Plus, because that lets you build your own custom GPTs. So if you've got that, then you can basically follow along with me to understand how you can build this Web3 GPT that can answer any question about Web3 data in this tutorial. And apart from the APIs that we just integrate, I'm going to teach you the basic way or method in which you've got to integrate this, so that you could also integrate any of your custom APIs in order to build your own custom Web3 GPT. So let's get started. So you first got to go into this Explore GPT section. Once you go into the Explore GPT section, you can see that there's a lot of custom GPTs which are created by the community, created by ChatGPT itself, and etc. All these ChatGPTs do their own thing, and our ChatGPT, which is the Moralis Web3 GPT, is going to be able to answer questions about Web3 data. So to create that, you've got to go into this Create menu. Once you've come into the Create menu, you'll notice there are actually uh, two things. One is basically like a builder for building this custom GPT, where you could just talk to chat GPT like you normally do to build it. And the other is like you can actually configure things from the ground up. So we're going to go into the configure menu, and let's start with that now. Just give your custom GPT a name. I'm going to call it Moralis GPT. Description, this GPT answers any question about Web3 data by making API calls to Moralis. What should this GPT do? So essentially, we want this GPT to be able to answer the questions to the user. So answer users' queries on blockchain and Web3 data by making API calls to get information from Moralis. So this is just an initial instruction that I've given, but we could always refine it and keep improving it along the way. Let's skip the conversation starters for now. And capabilities here, you just want to keep web browsing because we need web browsing to make the API call. DALI image generation is not really required. So that's it on this front. Now here you can give your GPT like a custom thumbnail as well. And you could either upload a photo or use DALI. So we'll just go with use DALI and it's going to just generate a custom image for our GPT. So that's on the GPT creation side. Now to actually make it talk to Moralis, you would need to get an API key from Moralis, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. So just go to moralis.io and then you'll basically be able to see the Moralis landing page. And like you can see here, Moralis is the Web3 data platform for crypto data. And you can basically get all sorts of token data, wallet data, NFT data, etc. straight from our API. And essentially that lets you create a lot of use cases, whether it's wallet address tracking, whether it's crypto tax platforms, etc. And let's get started now. So just head to login. Once you've logged in, you'll be able to see your dashboard, which shows you all the information like the compute units consumed, your API key, etc. And the only field that we require is the API key. So copy the API key. Once you've copied the API key, now we can go back to our custom GPT and let's go into this field called actions. So actions are basically third-party API calls that ChatGPT is going to perform in order to get the specific data. And you can see here that we've actually generated the logo as well. So now you've just got to head into create new action. And authentication is where how we communicate to the Moralis API. And to understand more about that, you can just check out our docs. If you go quickly into the resources section, you will understand how authentication actually works. So in general FAQs, you can see it here. So we basically make use of the X API key header in order to authenticate requests to the API. So for this, let's just go back to our ChatGPT, put in the authentication type as API key, and our auth type is going to be a custom API key. So the header is going to be X API key. So let's just copy that, come back here, and now for the API key, copy it from your Moralis dashboard. Once you've done that, you can hit save. And now essentially what will happen is it's going to be able to talk to the Moralis server or the URL which we basically give it, and it's going to authenticate itself with this given API key. So the next part is basically about the OpenAPI schema. So this essentially is like a standard format for defining your APIs, and it basically supports two formats. So you can see some examples here. So if you see the JSON, you can see it basically gives all the information about an API. So this is the API route, it's a get method, what's the description for this method, what are the parameters, all of the details are obtained straight from this. And this is in JSON, and you can have the same thing in YAML as well. So we're going to learn more about this because we are going to have to write the OpenAPI specification for what APIs we want to integrate. So let's get started. I'm also going to open another tab of ChatGPT here so that we could leverage ChatGPT to actually give us and refine our OpenAPI schema. So to get started, let's first make our first API. So if you go into Web3 data API section, you can see the full list of APIs by category, etc. Let's head into the wallet API, and you can see these are the API methods which are supported by Moralis Wallet API. And let's look at get wallet token approvals to start with. So if you see what this API actually does, get wallet token approvals actually retrieves you the active ERC20 token approvals for the given wallet address. And let's actually try this out as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to retrieve the approvals for a given wallet address, and let's actually just do it for my wallet address. So we have already the custom GPT that we just created, and this was just some prompts that we tried. So I'm just gonna get my address. What address is associated to it? And this is actually going to make a domain API resolution call. So that's why we have gotten the address. Now we can go back here and paste the wallet address, and let's test live API. Now you can basically see the response here. It gives you all the token approvals, that is the ERC20 tokens. If you have approved any smart contract or any address to spend your tokens, you'll be able to see all of that along with how much USD price, what's the USD at risk, who is the spender you've approved. All that information is completely available in just one API call. So let's begin with integrating this particular API. So to do this, an easy way is to just take the curl command which we have right here to make this API call. So I'm going to take this and let's head to chat GPT that we have open, and let's create a new chat, and let's ask it, can you give me an open API schema for this API? And let's give it some information and context about what API we're talking about. So that's basically get wallet token approvals. And let's also give it the information that it retrieves active ERC20 token approvals for a given wallet address. And another thing that we're going to give is the actual command which we are making the API request here. So we're just going to paste this here, and we are also going to just give it a sample response so that it's able to construct that open API schema. Once you have done this, you'll notice that it generates an open API schema for this particular API call, and it follows the YAML format right here, which you can see. And let's just wait for this particular thing to get generated, and you'll be able to see how you can quickly get started. So we're going to go with a blank template here, and this is where we're going to paste our OpenAPI schema. So let's head back here. Now you can see it's still generating the particular schema of our API. And in the meantime, let's also look at what other APIs are available in Moralis Wallet API and what other stuff we can integrate. So, mo- so the custom GPT actually has a limit, and the number of APIs or schemas you could integrate are 30. But for this tutorial, we're just going to try integrating a couple of APIs from Wallet API. Particularly, let's try integrating the get wallet token balances, and we're going to use this particular API which returns the ERC20 token balances along with the prices in USD for that particular token. We're also going to integrate the get wallet token approvals. We're also going to integrate get wallet net worth, which is going to actually give you the entire net worth of a wallet in just one API call. So this is how the response looks like. You can see it gives you the net worth, the native balance in Ethereum. If it's in Ethereum, then it's in Ethers. You get the formatted value as well, so you could directly use this data that comes from the API in your front end. And we're also going to use this API, get wallet details, which is going to give us the chain activity by wallet. So it tells you what's the last transaction which was performed on a given chain, etc. And get wallet stats basically gives you how many NFTs this wallet has, how many transfers it's done, how many token transfers it's done, etc. So I think now the schema would have gotten generated. So you can see right here that it's fully generated. And what we're going to do, we'll just copy this, head back to ChatGPT, and let's paste this here. Okay, we're getting an okay, here we go. We've got the available actions right here. And if you actually go into the okay, there seems to be an issue with our code. So let's just give this to ChatGPT and try to see what exactly is the issue. Okay, we basically need an operation ID, so that's going to actually fix it for us. And another way for you to actually get the OpenAPI schema in a much easier way is you could just head to resources and head to EVM API Swagger. Once you get this URL, you can see all the APIs which are available in Moralis Web3 Data API. And let's just wait for this to load. Yep. You can see here, these are all the APIs by category, market data, ownership, balance, etc. This is the API that we're actually trying to integrate now. Get ERC20 approvals by wallet, and it gives you all the data in just one API call. And if you want to actually see the Open API schema for this, you can just head to this part, open this in a new tab, and this actually just gives you the Open API schema itself. So we'll see how we can use this as well to help us in generating the Open API schema. And okay, now that it's generated this, let's copy this again, head back to our custom GPT, paste this here. Okay, now you can see that we have got it. You can see here that get wallet token approvals is present, and let's actually hit test here. So let's just ask it, give me the ERC20 token approvals for, let's paste my address again. So I had my address already open here. I'm just going to open this. Okay, so you can basically see it right here. This is my address, and let's take this and let's just do this prompt. Okay, I think it's taking some time for some reason. So let's see what's happening. Let's just go back into our my GPTs and let's see the GPT that we just did. This was the one. And now if you go into configure, let's go to create new actions. Let's again just copy the OpenAPI schema for this. Copy the code, head back here, paste this, change it to the API key, custom, and okay, it says we have already exists on another action. Let's go back and just check our OpenAPI schema again. So we have it right here. I think the schema, the action's already created. So let's just have a look at it first. So you can see here, this is the action that we've already created. And you can see there is a get wallet token approvals here. So let's just hit test now. And now it's going to actually ask us for which wallet address do you want to get the token approvals for. And you've got to hit allow so that it can talk to Moralis. So now you can see in the debug what it's actually doing. And you'll see that it's actually getting the ERC20 token approvals for some other wallet address based on the example request that we had given. So now to actually solve this, right, what you can do is you can just head back and give it some more instructions. I've just stopped this for now. And what we'll do here is if a user address is required, feel free to ask the user the wallet address and also the chain if needed. So now we are actually improving or refining our GPT itself by giving it this particular instruction. Let's also delete this particular action because this is just a copy. Now that we have done that, let's go back here. This is our action that we just saw. Within this particular action, you see this is the available action, get wallet token approvals. And now let's actually give me the token approvals for my wallet address. And let's actually just head back here to this and let's copy our address. So it should be available right here in check ETH balance. Okay, so you can see it right here. This is my ETH address. We're gonna go back here. We're gonna put this. So now when you put this, you can see what's actually gonna happen. It's starting the action now to make an API call to Moralis. You can see in the debug that it's passed my address now and it's got and found out what are all the approval data for this given wallet address. And this was the same API response that we saw when we made the API call from the docs. So you can verify this again by just heading to our wallet API, get to wallet token approvals, and paste the wallet address and just hit test live API. So you can see the response, and this is what we're getting from ChatGPT as well. So this basically shows you how you can integrate the get wallet token approvals API. So now for our next API to integrate, let's look at integrating get wallet net worth, and let's also try to understand what this API does. So you can see it gives you the net worth of a wallet in USD, and it tells you everything in terms of the chain, the native balance, the net worth, etc. So let's just put my address again over here, and let's see. Okay, let's just go back to ChatGPT and copy your address. That's it. Now let's go here. Okay, now we have our address written. Now I can hit test live API and it's going to give you the total net worth in USD in the chain along with the balance in the native chain as well. So you get all this data in just one API call. Now let's do the same process. Go back into ChatGPT, go back into our schema definition page. So let's check if this is the one. Refresh. Okay, now you can see this was the one. So can you add this API? And let's also give it the response as well. So you can see the response right here. And let's also give it what API this is. This API is basically the get wallet net worth. And this is also getting the net worth of a wallet. So this description is also going to be helpful. So once we do this, now it's going to generate the OpenAPI schema with this particular API as well. And if you look at the structure of the OpenAPI schema, you'll actually understand what it is. You can see it first gives you what are the servers it talks to. This is the URL for which the Moralis server is located, and here's where you can see all the paths available. This is the API route for getting the wallet approvals. Similarly, we'll be defining many routes for getting across various actions, and that's what you can basically see here as well. So okay, it's still generating it for the token approvals. So let's just wait for this to complete. And once this is basically done, you'll be able to see our other API, which is the get wallet net worth schema generated. But like I was saying, you can also view the schema by going into the actual swagger.json. And now you could actually just control F and check here. So this is kind of the same format. This is also the OpenAPI spec, and this is in the JSON. So you can see this is the API that we need, get wallet net worth. It has every data about our API, the response, etc. So this is sufficient for actually making ChatGPT understand what API to call and how to call it. So now if we head back here, you can see it's added it. We're just going to take this again, and once this is done, you can see it right here, get wallet net worth has been added. So now you can basically do this. What's the net worth of this wallet address? Let's copy the address again on Ethereum. So now it's actually going to make the net worth API call, which you'll see here. So ChatGPT actually understands when to make what API call. You can see here that it actually makes the get wallet net worth API call and gives you the net worth value. So now we have integrated get wallet token approvals and get wallet net worth. The next API that we're going to look at is basically get wallet token balances. And now I'm going to show you what this does. It's going to give you the ERC20 token balances for our wallet address in just one API call. So you're going to get everything in a well formatted way along with the formatted balance, etc. as well. So you can directly render it in your front end. So you can see it shows you the total supply, the USD value, the portfolio percentage as well, which you can see here. My portfolio is 43% USDC, and you can basically see all of that data right here. So what we're going to do now is let's do the same thing with token balances. and go here. Let's give it, this is the token balances API, and let's also give it a sample response, which is this one. And let's just paste this here, and it's actually going to add this as well with the get wallet token balances API. So we need to wait for this to complete. In the meantime, let's also look at what is the next API that we can integrate. So get wallet domains lets you resolve or perform domain resolution very easily. So you can see here you have get ENS domain by address, get address by ENS domain, get unstoppable domain by address, and get the address from the unstoppable domain. So basically, you can get all the domain resolution straight from this. Like you can see here, you have to pass the unstoppable domain and you get the address, etc. So now that we have seen this, let's head back to our schema definition. Okay, so now it's still generating the schema for our token balance API. We've just got to wait um, until it's complete. Okay. The next API that we're going to integrate is basically for getting the wallet details. So if you're building like a portfolio dashboard for a wallet, you would need to fetch what are all the active chains for the wallet. And this returns you what are the active chains so that you can make respective API calls to retrieve the token balances on that chain or to retrieve NFT balances on that chain, etc. So this is another API, and this is still generating. So let's just look at the token balances response to understand a bit more. It gives you the token address, the symbol, the name of the token, the logo as well. So when you're building like an index portfolio dashboard, you can directly access this logo in order to show it in your portfolio. You can also see the balances, the formatted balance, the USD price, etc. So now you can see, okay, let's just hit continue generating. And okay, now you can see it's complete. Let's take this here. Let's paste this. You can see that it's basically done. So now you can ask what tokens does this wallet address have. So let's open up my wallet address again. Where did it go? Okay, here we go. So let's take this. Let's So as soon as we integrate the domain resolution API, we don't need to pass the wallet address every time because it's going to understand it can make an API call to get that wallet address from the ENS domain. So the next API let's do is actually the ENS domain. And you can see here it shows us what are the tokens which are owned by this wallet address as well. So now we're going to look at the domain resolution API. Go here, get wallet domains, get ENS domain by address, get address by ENS domain. So let's just go back here to our chat GPT. You can see it showed us all the balances across all the tokens that is present on Ethereum. It hasn't shown the tokens that are marked spam, but you can still make ChatGPT show you by modifying certain prompts. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the get address by ENS domain. Let's go back here. Let's open up our schema, open API schema. Okay, let's refresh and you can see it right here. So now we have pasted this, and the response for this basically looks like the address itself. So this is the uh, API. So let's just give it some information about this. Get address by ENS domain. And the next one we want is basically get ENS domain by address. So let's just put that as well. Let's also paste the sample request responses. And here you go. So once you have done this, your Web3 GPT will be able to also resolve domains. So we need to again wait for this to complete. So let's head back to our chat GPT. You can see we've integrated these three APIs now. And once we integrate the domain resolution, we'll be then integrating the get wallet net worth API. So okay, we've already done get wallet net worth. So the next one would be to get the wallet details. So get wallet stats will actually give you how many NFTs, how many collections, how many transactions, etc. So we can do the get wallet stats now. So this is still generating. So get wallet DeFi positions is another DeFi API in order to get like all the DeFi positions across various DeFi protocols. So the first API is to get the list of DeFi protocols that this wallet is associated to, like whether it's Aave, etc. And to get the supported list that we fetch from, you can just head to resources and you can look at supported DeFi protocols. And this tells you what are all the DeFi protocols which are supported, IGN layer, EtherFi, etc. And it basically retrieves details about the positions as well. So we have done a video previously about getting the wallet's DeFi positions. So you can check that out to understand how you can get in just one API call all the DeFi positions along with whether it's a staking position or a liquidity position, etc. And everything is available directly, which gives you the ability to build very deep dashboards for DeFi data. So that's on the DeFi API. Let's just hit continue generating here. So apart from just integrating the wallet APIs, you can also integrate our NFT APIs, DeFi API. The price API gives you live token prices. So if you want to get an ERC20 tokens price, you'll be able to query the price by specifying the DEX or the exchange. And to view the supported exchange, you'll be able to just directly go into supported DEXs. And you can see here that what are the DEXs which are supported as well. So you can directly use this data in order to fetch prices, so you don't have to rely on making an RPC call every time if you want to fetch a live price data, etc. So that's on the ERC20 token price. Aside from the price APIs, you also have blockchain APIs which get data about the blockchain. So if you want to resolve a transaction hash, and if you want to get a decoded transaction by hash along with the method name, method arguments, etc., you'll be able to get that as well. You'll also have an API to get the latest block number per chain, and this just returns you the latest block number. So you can definitely check out all of the APIs and see how you can integrate the other APIs to build your own custom GPT. However, in this one, we're going to focus on just the wallet APIs, but it's always extensible. So now that we have got this ready, let's go back to our OpenAI schema. Now that it's done, you can see here you have the get address by ENS domain. So now you could actually say what's the balance or what's the tokens owned by, let's just do Vitalik.eth. He's obviously gonna have so many tokens on ERC20 on Ethereum mainnet. So it's gonna just show us the top few results on ETH mainnet. So you can actually see what's happening here. The first API call is to actually resolve the address by ENS domain. Then you can see the response, it got the address of Vitalik. Then you can see it's calling the get wallet token balances API, and now it's gotten the response for Vitalik's address as well. So this is a huge response, and you can basically see right here what are all the tokens present, and everything is just shown here. So I'm just gonna hit stop for now because it's gonna take too long to show this. But yeah, this is how you can do this. And now coming to our next API, coming back, let's go into get wallet details and look at get wallet stats. So if you paste your our wallet address over here, you'll be able to see what's the wallet address associated to bharatraj.eth. And now let's actually get the wallet address. Okay, this is making an API call and it has gotten the address. You can see the response of it here. So now that we have got this, now let's just go back to this, put this into get wallet stats, and you'll be able to see how many NFTs, how many collections, how many transactions, etc. So let's copy this and go back here, give it this, and let's also just take our response as well. So you can see right here, this is the response. And let's also copy the description, get the stats for a wallet address. So the get wallet stats is actually going to give us all the data about the NFTs, transfers, etc. And coming back to our custom GPT, you can see we've already integrated like around 5 APIs. With this, we'll basically be able to also get the wallet stats. So in the meantime, let's also look at some other APIs which are present. Aside from the NFT, we haven't seen the NFT API. So you can basically get all sorts of NFT data from our APIs. If you're building like a NFT marketplace or an NFT dashboard, you can get all the data up to the traits level. So you can basically see you have the latest one, which is the get NFT traits and rarity. So you'll also be able to get rarity data for NFTs along with trait data. So per collection, you can directly fetch the NFT traits, and then for the given traits and the collection address, you can get all the NFTs that match your traits. So you can see this filtering between these traits and you're able to get the response. So that's on the NFT traits. Then you have the DeFi API, which is to get the DeFi positions. Then you have the price API, which gives you live price data. And that's basically it. Let's look at if this is generated. Okay, so this is still generating. Coming back to our GPT, you can basically see right here, these are all the actions which are already present. And now once you actually build this, you could even publish this on the GPT store, which lets anyone directly use this GPT to resolve their Web3 needs. So that's on that front. I just hit continue generating. And let's wait for this to complete. So you can check out the Swagger again to get a complete overview on the APIs. And you can definitely also directly use the API here, schema here directly along with this in the chat GPT custom GPT builder as well. So for this tutorial, we're doing it with chat GPT so that we can actually see what are all the parameters it's giving and how you can actually do it yourself for any API. So that's on that front. So let's just refresh this. Okay, okay, it's still generating. Let's wait for this to complete. So it's in the wallet stats, so we are close to finishing. Let's refresh this again. Okay, now you can basically see that it's all done. I can copy the code. Now you can head back here and paste this. And you can see that get wallet stats got added. So now you can ask it how many transactions has Bharatharaj.eth performed on Ethereum. And this is actually going to make the get wallet stats API call and now to return us the response. So you can see first it's resolving the ENS domain, then it's gotten that. Next step is basically it's making a call to get wallet stats, and now it's gotten all of that. So it tells us that it's made 86 transfers. So this is how you can essentially integrate any Moralis API to build your own custom GPT. And these are the APIs that we have integrated. So now to actually create your GPT, you have just got to hit create, and you can also decide who you want to share it to, whether it's the GPC store, whether it's only you, etc. And now let's say anyone with the link, and we require a privacy policy URL. Just give a sample URL over here. I'm just gonna put this URL here. Okay, looks like it accepted it. Now that it's done, let's hit create now. Now you can see anyone with link. Now the save option is done. And once you hit save, the custom GPT is actually going to be created, and we'll be able to actually see this out. Now it says GPT is published, and you got the link to the GPT as well. So now when you click view GPT, it's actually going to open it up here. You can see this was the one that we just created. And now you could again continue asking it anything. Get me the token balances of Bharatraj.eth, and now it's actually going to use the GPT that we trained. You could obviously refine the prompts to further train your GPT model and make it work across all chains, etc., by giving it the chain list and stuff. And that's how you can essentially build your own custom Web3 GPT that gives you any answers about Web3 data. So thank you for following this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, feel free to uh, like the video and subscribe to our channel so that you can see a lot more of this content. Thank you.